time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the bonus show of the week. Brent Wallace alongside Jason York. Yorkie, nice to see you. I didn't bring this up, but you do not get overtime.
I'm talking about it's in the fine print when I negotiated my contract.
Okay. I suggest read it again.
Good timing on this bonus show, by the way. Thomas Chabot, who we had lined up, overtime winner, perhaps his best game of the year. So, okay, this is funny too. You got to tell everybody how we ended up getting Thomas on the show. It's so funny. He's saving it for when he comes on.
I will save it for when he comes on.
That's so good.
Because I was like, anyway, we'll save it for when he comes on.
Okay.
He
teaser,
will, by the
teaser.
Yes, he will join us at 1 p.m. So we have some stuff to get through, plus the game last night. So 1 p.m. we'll see Thomas Chabot roughly thereabouts join the show. We'll also give away a Thomas Chabot bobblehead today because it's shabby and it was his birthday yesterday and everything was perfect. By the way, I sat down next to him in the locker room and had a long chat with him yesterday. Didn't remember it was his birthday. Epic fail.
Well,
Mendez walks over and goes, "Oh, did you wish him happy birthday?" I was like, "No, I didn't."
Yeah, there's lots. I think you get a mulligan on that one. I think you get a mulligan on that one while you re-tee it up. But hey, listen, this bonus show, a lot of balls are in motion to get this working today. It was like 1 o'clock, 12:30. I've got the minute this mic is shut off.
Yeah,
I've got my car packed. Got my I like having a coffee and some Werthers while I drive. So I got the Werthers. I got the Werthers set up in the cup holder. But I got to go see my son. His game starts at 7, Elmira College, playing at home tonight. It's a 5-hour drive. So do the math. 1:30. I got to have my coffee stop. So we're cutting it close here, Wally. We're cutting it close.
We'll get to it. I got 4 pages in the Nerd Report today. So let's get to it. But first, before we get into last night's game, I just want to go back over yesterday, if I can, for a brief moment. One is I felt partially I didn't do Simmer. I felt I did him a disservice because we weren't going to start the show. We weren't going to discuss talking about Sean yesterday because we weren't sure that everybody had been told in this family. So
yeah, it's tough.
So 20 minutes beforehand, legit is when we decided, and I should have had a thumbnail done and there should have been more around it. And so it was put together, I don't want to say hastily, just quickly, because it was getting out on social media. I do owe him perhaps more than just what we said about him. And I just, the outpouring of support yesterday was overwhelming. It was the first time my phone has died through the day of not charging it. And so for him, and it was just a good friend for me, and we'll miss his laugh on the show and misses when he says beauty vibes and everything he brought to the show and just being around. So people can choose how to remember people how they want. Just he was a complex individual, a lot of layers to him, but remember all the love and joy he ended up bringing around if you ever had a chance to meet him. So to that, Simmer, I bid you a farewell.
Well, just to give yourself a little bit of a break there, Wally. Word was starting to get out. I found out the day before, and I had called you because you didn't know. And then I knew it was going to get out. I know you called Ian and some people, but it's such a delicate situation because next of kin haven't been notified, and it just people don't want to find out that way. So I disagree. I thought you did a great job yesterday. It was well said. Tough day for everybody. Tough day for everybody in the city. Nobody's prepared for these things, and there's no perfect way how to handle it. But I thought, you know what, you did the best you could, and people remember Sean for the good things. And it's like I said, there's never a perfect way how to do these kind of things. So I think you got to give yourself a break.
Totally. And I'm trying to get to everybody's messages. I think I've responded to 1,000 people so far. So we're trying. I will respond to everybody eventually. I apologize if I haven't. And some of you who have sent these letters, just explaining what you've gone through and the support you've offered me is over the top. So overwhelming. Much appreciated.
I just think that post you posted last night on X, that was pretty telling to the stuff that was going on behind the scenes. The involvement that just people didn't know about. Like people didn't really know. Sean was tweeting from home every day, and he still had his wit. He still had his way about it. People from the outside, people like, this guy's got it all together, right? He's got his shit together, but you just never know, and that's the thing. So, like I said, you did all you could, man.
Anyway, and so did you, because I can still remember us celebrating his birthday together. Anyway, I think it meant a lot to him at the time.
That was, for people who don't, I know you touched on that. That was nice. Going over that one day and then seeing Sean, and you brought a cake and everything. So, you know what? Cupcakes. He knows. Yeah, it's cupcakes. You baked them too. No, from Wally's oven. Oh, it sounds better that way.
So, there our friend Ava, who does a ton of charity work, fundraising throughout the city. Backpacks is a huge one. She has started I don't know if it's a donation, if you will, at the Royal Ottawa for Sean Simpson, or on his behalf, if you will, at the royal.crowdchange.ca, and you can make a donation if you want. Ava, well done. Thanks again. You always seem to be able to find a way to help the city become better. So thank you. Now we'll move on to the game. Let's take care of some business, and then we'll get to the game. This show brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers. More than 85 locations across the country through Charm and their sister brands. Get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece program and an unbeatable pricing policy. Check out a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, mine diamonds. Don't forget to apply for the Charm Diamond Flexity card. Get approved for no interest financing on your purchase in minutes. For more, go to charmdiamondcenters.com. Chosen forever, Charm Diamond Centers. And of course, by the official pizza of the Ottawa Senators. And of course, Gabriel, or by coming in hot as well, Gabriel Pizza. Don't forget, download the Gabriel Pizza Perks app. Also, order online at GabrielPizza.com. Check out their menu. A wide selection, not just pizzas, by the way. However, I'm happy to say today is the day you can get pizza tonight. 40% off. Order any 9-inch pizza, because the Sens scored more than 4 yesterday, as we all know. So download the Gabriel Pizza app and save 40% off on any 9-inch pizza the day after the Sens score 4, which is today. Don't forget. So Yorkie, let's get to it. That's regardless of the outcome of that game last night, which was beneficial, except if you're me, who picked perhaps Washington, is that was a hell of an entertaining game.
Yeah, it was. You know what? I was going to go to the game. I just wasn't up to it. So watched at home. Actually had a glass of white wine in honor of Simmer. That game from start to finish against a team. I didn't really realize how good Washington was until you really sit back and watch a game closely, Wally. They don't make many mistakes in a game. And we talked about this yesterday on the show, how big they are. Like, they're massive. I know Gord Miller was talking about it on the broadcast about the size of their forwards, but you can really see it. And I thought that's the best Ottawa has defended, checked, and they still gave up 4, but they didn't really give Washington a lot of good grade A opportunities. I don't have the analytics in front of me, but I watched that game pretty closely, and I thought Ottawa had the better chances, the better pressure, and they forced Washington to a lot of mistakes. I thought that was I'll use that old term, measuring stick game. That was a measuring stick game to see exactly where the Ottawa Senators are right now. And I think they passed it in flying colors. Even though they gave up the lead and it got tied up, that was kind of a little bit of a fortunate goal. The floater from Ovi that goes in, and then the lucky bounce in front of the net. Like, they were there was pressure, but I still never felt the game was in doubt. Like, when Ottawa got to overtime, they just played with a composed it's like, I like to call it that peak performance zone where you're relaxed, but you're still playing really hard. They just seem to have found that sweet spot in their game. And boy, oh boy, how about Shane Pinto's game? Josh Norris, maybe his best game of the season. And I know we're having Thomas on at the top of the hour. I thought that might have been Thomas Chabot's best game of the year. And it has nothing to do with the overtime winner. The overtime winner was awesome, and it was great. But it's how he's winning 50-50 battles right now, how he's breaking the puck out, how he's skating the puck. He's just playing with so much confidence right now. So for me, there was a ton to like in that game. And hey, Forsberg was good again. Like, he made some key saves, at the key times, Wally. So like I said, best team in the NHL they played last night, Washington. You can't deny where they are in the standings, perhaps maybe Winnipeg. But man, oh man, I thought Ottawa played extremely well last night.
So because I'd picked Washington, I was just slightly hoping. I just wanted to catch you in the standings. I didn't want Ottawa to lose. But when Shane Pinto scored, and you can see the reaction that he has, you can tell that team's playing different. And the only reason I say that is when you watch him in the celebration, there's a relaxed, but there's a confidence in that thing.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, the way he celebrated, I was like, they're not losing tonight. And you rarely, well, I haven't seen it in years, probably 8 years.
I'll explain it to, like, with pro athletes, and it's like pro athletes at the highest level, even when you're playing, anyone that's played sports before, when you go out and you just play a game and you don't really have to think, you just play, and everything's instinctive. Because you've done it so often. And that's the thing. It takes a while for change to happen. And the Ottawa Senators had to make drastic changes on how they went about playing, with their game planning, how they defended, how they did everything. But you see, like, they're so, I use Travis Green's word again, connected in their own zone now. Like, they don't give you a lot. They defend a hell of a lot better than they used to. Their neutral zone play is 1,000 times better. And they're playing within their strengths, because they're not the biggest team. So how do you play against a big, strong team like Washington? You eliminate time and space. You win races. You use your speed. And boy, I think this team's turned a page, Wally. I really do. And I've been saying it for a couple of months now. They've figured out who they are. They know how to play, and they're executing.
They should just start the game, though, down 1-0, and just give the goal to Ovi. Because they're just going to give it to Ovi anyway, right? Like, the guy just scored.
How does he do it? Like, he plays on that offside. He just, not that he floats around, but he kind of just, like that goal he scored. Like, it's a seeing eye wrister. The only thing I didn't like on that play, that was one time I thought the Senators had a little bit of breakdown. So Ovi's got the puck. And then everybody kind of backed off, and they went back to the house, and that's fine. But again, it's a seeing eye shot, a little bit of bullshit luck behind that goal. But hey, I'm sure it's Ovi, right? You could say it's bullshit luck, but
it's not.
He's been doing it forever, right? He's the best. He's gonna be the greatest of all time when it comes to goal scoring. What is he, 19 now? 19 back. So wouldn't it be something if we broke it this year?
I still think there's chance.
For sure there is. Absolutely. Would you want to be the goalie that did it?
Oh God, no! Right, because you're you're a highlight for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well,
just like Gretzky's 802, right? I think the LA one where he's marching across the ice, if you will, running across the ice after taking over Gordie Howe's goals. I think it is, right?
Yeah.
You just remember that image. It would just be, hopefully, maybe it's an empty netter and there's no goalie. There you go.
Well, doesn't Ovi leads the NHL in all-time empty netters, doesn't he? I believe he did. It was Gretzky.
Yes, he does. I think he's got 56. In fact, the other day on Overdrive, Noodles is talking about it, and I sent it to him. And I will tell you, unless they've updated it, I think he's got 56. And hang on,
Ovi's got more empty netters than I have goals in my career.
He has 62. Gretzky has 56. Here's an trivia question for you, Yorkie. A former teammate of yours is third all-time in empty net goals.
Former teammate? Well, you've had to have played a long time.
He was an Ottawa Senator draft pick. Oh. He is in the Hall of Fame.
Ottawa Senator draft pick? And in the Hall of Fame? Oh, it's not Alfie. Empty netters, Ottawa Senator draft pick. I don't know. I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now. It's obvious somebody didn't play for.
I know.
Senators.
You'll be annoyed. It's
Radek
Bonk's winger.
Radek Hossa.
Yeah.
Hossa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He has 40.
Well, I guess, right? Because he's got over 500 goals.
Well, but he was also killing penalty. Like he was a great penalty killer.
He was
Or
a
not,
great,
sorry.
great,
So he would always be on the ice. Sorry, a very good defensive player, I should say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. People always say they know how good he was, but I'll tell you from playing against Marian Hossa, he was a handful to play against. Like just a power forward, but not like a dirty guy trying to run you over. You know what he used? You know what Hossa used to do that was really tough. Very few guys could do this. He would come down on you when you were the D. He had a really long stick. I actually have one of Hossa's sticks here. He used a skinny little blade. And my boys came to a game once when I was retired, and Haas came out. Boys were really young at the time. Came in, saw them, spent some time, brought them a stick. He was awesome. But anyhow, he used to do this move where he'd come down, and I know because I was playing against him at the time, and I'm like, shit, he's gonna do the move. And he would take the puck, and instead of dumping it in, he would just kind of chip it behind you, but not too far behind. Far enough where he had to pivot and get it, and he'd just skate right by you. He was the best guy at doing that. A little puck placement behind the defenseman, or even put it in your feet, and then you look down, and you poke it, and then he's so quick, right? He had little tiny tricks like that. They were like power forward moves, but only guys like him with the kind of skill and eye could do them. Yeah, great player.
He was a hell of a player. Anyway, so he's third on the list all time in empty net goals. I know we got sidetracked. Back to the game quickly. Yeah. Josh Norris, who I know people we talk a lot about rumors, but he's playing the best hockey I've ever seen him play.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. What has he got now? He's got 18, 19 goals. He's going to get 30 this year.
You think he gets to 30, eh?
I do. What's he at right now?
18 goals, 30 points.
Yeah, he's just playing with a lot of confidence right now. And interesting with the two power plays, right? They're both splitting time. I still like him on his one-timer with Batherson and Brady in front of the net. I still love that setup, but he's, you know what I'm really impressed with his game right now, the goal scoring and the offensive side. His face-offs, he was dominant again. And I don't think people realize how tough it is in the NHL to win a face-off clean. Do you see how many clean draws he won last night where he's like snapping them back? Like it's
70% in draws, 14 of
20. I figured he was around 70, but key ones on so it's really important, especially on a power play, that you get possession right away, obviously, because you don't want to. They win it, you're losing 30, 40 seconds. But he's snapping them back clean on those power plays, defensive zone draws. He's starting in overtime. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Like, why would you trade him right now?
I will only say this. If you can at all ever make your team better.
For sure. Yes, for sure.
But you make like the Mikko Rantanen, Martin Neckish thing. Like that's no one would ever think that Carolina would trade their leading scorer. But if you can bring in Mikko Rantanen, so that's I would say that about any player.
100%.
If you could trade Connor McDavid or Tim Stützle and Connor McDavid, right? Like I know but that's my point. If you can get a better player and make your team better, and you're going to win a Stanley Cup, then you make that move.
But put it this way, like if let's just say for argument's sake, it's Josh and it's whatever, a defenseman or somebody that's making a couple million that plays every game. Like let's throw a name in there. Let's say it's not Bernard Docker, Tyler Clevin. I wouldn't do that deal. Clevin and Norris for Peterson. You don't know what Clevin's going to be down the road. 6'4", 6'5" defenseman that's just finding his way in the league, and two NHL players that right now still their salary is less than what Peterson's making right now. And I'm anytime I'm a little nervous about the player, and I know he was a 100-point player. I know he had some great years, and a lot of times you just need to change his scenery, but it makes me a little hesitant when you're making that kind of money. And I hear the stuff, like, for example, we had Pagnotta on the other day, and he's like, he doesn't really take criticism well, doesn't really, He'll be a little bit of a loner. He'll go away from like some of the stuff he was saying. I'm like, boy, oh boy, that's not the kind of guy I want to pay $11 million to. Like my $11 million guy is an alpha dog, leader, galvanizes the group, makes guys around him better. And if he has a problem, he confronts somebody and they either talk it out or fight it out. I don't want some guy that gets withdrawn when things go tough. And just that's when I heard that stuff, and I don't know if it's true, but that's
I don't either.
That's not a guy I'm paying $11 million to.
No, and I'm not saying it's just for Elias Pettersson. I'm just, if you can make your team better with a move,
100%. And like I said, this is just what you hear. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But also too, you got to think about how Ottawa's playing right now, and hopefully it continues. There's a lot to be said for chemistry, how things fit into certain pieces,
right?
And like where you, if you did bring Elias Pettersson, yeah, good players can play with good players. That is true, but like, is he the guy the puck goes through on the power play, or is it Stützle? Like who's you know what I mean? Right. It's just there's a lot of things to figure out.
I totally understand your point. Taking a look at the standings, by the way, just so you know, Ottawa will end the month of January with the best winning percentage it's had in January in 11 years. Just to give you an idea, like I just made a quick look. So we always keep going back to November 25th. The last 31 games, they have the third best record in the National Hockey League. So Ottawa enters February with a huge 5 games, right? They play Minnesota tomorrow. Then they've got Nashville, Tampa, Florida before the Four Nations break. This is a huge stretch for them just to see where they're going to be able to play out. I think they're comfortably. I know comfortably may be the wrong word. I think third is theirs to lose down the stretch.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Obviously, Captain Obvious since sitting there.
They're in third right now. They keep winning. I think Tampa has got 1 game in hand. Oh, here's the schedule right here. Yeah, let's take a peek at this. So, yeah, you got Minnesota. Minnesota's a good team. That'll be a tough one.
Best road team in the league.
Yeah. Oh, you got back-to-backs with Tampa and Florida. This is tough.
You're playing, right? Like
you're playing some. Arguably, you've got 3 of the best goalies in the game coming up with Saros, with Vasilevsky, and Bobrovsky. So, like, that's no easy task. Be nice to have Ullmark back for then, wouldn't it? Nice.
Don't start today. Don't.
He's gonna play. He'll be. I might even.
He's got to play.
I might even slap the guarantee on. I would almost guarantee he plays next week, based on how everything's shaping up right now.
So because the Sens didn't. They had, I think, 4 guys skate today, and 2 of them were Maryline and Forsberg, and I think Ostapchuk and maybe I'd have Matt and Palo. I think were the 4 people on the ice today. So Linus Ullmark not skating again. I'm going to guess that he doesn't play Saturday, and then he goes on the trip.
Probably plays.
I'm going to say he plays Tampa and not Nashville, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's going to be a long layoff. So I was sitting there. I had an appointment this morning, get a little physio done on the knees, and we're chatting about, and my physio Jay, he's actually pissed off about about this whole cup and break thing too. He's like, this thing makes no sense. It's a stupid tournament. And we started talking. Yeah, best goal scorer in the world ever. He's not playing. Ovechkin, Pasternak. Who needs him? No Vasilevsky. No Stützle. No Draisaitl. Is it really best on best?
Let's not start again.
Okay. So anyway,
we already know it's not.
It's not.
It's just a tournament made up. 1, to generate money and revenue for the NHL. 2 is to get Crosby and McDavid to play together.
Yeah. So the point I was going to make is I've kind of waffled a little bit. I was very adamant on, I don't think Ullmark should go. I think it would be a mistake if he goes and he gets hurt. But now I thought he would be back by now. Now I'm of the mind of, you know what? Like, he doesn't play here. That's a long layoff. And it's going to take him a long time to get back into game shape with this break.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like thinking, you know what? It's probably not a bad idea if he plays, because number one, these guys aren't going to be killing themselves. Like, no one's going to be running goalies. And it's one thing when you go to the Olympics, You go to the Olympics, you are playing for keeps. You are fighting tooth and nail, and the pressure level, the anxiety, all that stuff is full tilt. That's not going to exist in this. And it still doesn't. It's, you know, you can still get hurt. You can get hurt anytime. But now I'm thinking this might be a good little warm up for him to get back into game shape. Because he hasn't played in so long.
So the most you can play as a team is 4 games. Yeah. And if you're a goalie, you're probably playing 2 at most if you make it to the final.
Yeah.
So maybe he only plays 1 game anyway.
But to me, it's more of, because if he doesn't go, he's going to not be on the ice practicing, like probably be here and be on and do physio, but
that's not
you're going to take practice reps against some of the best shooters in the world, the speed, everything. So you're going to mimic what you're not going to get during this break. So now I've kind of flipped on it, Wally. I think it might not be a bad idea now for him to go and get himself back into shape, because he's not going to be in shape, even if he plays one of these games, and then he comes back and okay, let's put him into a situation now where we have to win these games, and he hasn't played in 3 months or 2 months or whatever it is. So when you really think it through, I don't know. Do you agree?
I would play him. One, he would also get the practice time.
It's more the practice time for me. It's the practice time, and
you get 1 game or 2. That's your warm up.
And if you get hurt in 1 game or 2, and like I said, people are going to say the Hasek thing, but the Olympics is different. It's amped up. It's such a different animal. This is exhibition play, and I think he can use it to his advantage if he goes.
Can get injured doing anything though, right? Jason Spezza got hurt getting out of the car because his back hurt. Like,
just remember that?
Carrying groceries. So, all right. So, Yorkie, you and I will drive Linus Ullmark to Montreal for Team Sweden.
Yeah. And don't get hurt while you're there.
We're just, I believe Thomas is like 5 to 7 minutes behind. I didn't want to tell Yorkie because I know he's got the car started already.
Car's warming up, Wally. Let's go, Thomas.
Just take care of our friends, and then we'll get into Thomas here.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks to the good folks at BEI who are helping to shape the Ottawa Valley with equipment, aggregate, topsoil, custom crushing and screening products, hot mix paving. They can do it all. So when you're planning your next project, please consider BEI for all your aggregate supply needs. At 613-432-1120 is where you can get them. Or online at bonasherexcavating.com.
Also, our show is proudly presented to you by Bet365. Proud partner coming in hot. Open an account today with Bet365. Bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code NATION, NATION, must be 19 years of age or older in Ontario. Please play responsibly. Download the app today. We'll get to the schedule in a bit. Also, I forgot to mention our good friends at Gabriel Pizza. They've got all these combos coming up for Super Bowl week. So starting February 3rd, you can go on their website and see them all, but they've got 3 different combos you can order, especially for Super Bowl Sunday, and enjoy, of course, wings and pizza and all the other good fixings. So GabrielPizza.com. All right. Yorkie, have you ever played with a broken face? Because I can't wait to ask Thomas Chabot.
Yes.
Oh, right. We did talk about this.
Yeah, I broke a lot of things in my face, Wally. I told the story. I broke. It was a $6 million man story. Can we rebuild him stronger, faster?
I forgot about this. Yes.
Yeah. No. Like I dumb in practice. This guy Dennis Arkipoff ran into me, and I broke. I always butcher this word. It's a tough one, kind of like Marilinen to pronounce. Orbital bone. I struggle with that one.
I need to make some kind of sound when you make new words with the English language. Orbital.
See, I told you.
Right? Orbital bone.
You can't do it either. Coming in hot contest, say orbital bone. You can't do it. It's one of those words. Anyways, I broke that. I broke my cheek and I broke my jaw. And then I waited till it healed back. But then I had to play with a full bubble. So I know what Thomas is going through twice, because I had eye surgery in September, played with a full bubble for a couple months, took it off, put the visor on, then Dum smashed into me in practice. So then I had to put the bubble on again for the rest of the season. It was like, I was a bubble. They call me the bubble boy for the rest of the year. Like, remember the bubble boy on Seinfeld?
Yes.
One of the
Well,
best episodes ever, eh?
Too funny. As quickly, the games tonight don't really have an impact for Ottawa for that part. But tomorrow, the Rangers play Boston, which will be a key one to watch because they don't want a 3-point game if you can help it to get out of that one.
Okay,
That's
we're
for sure.
making we're making Chabot say the word. He's got
Orbital?
Is that how you say it? Say it
Orbital.
again. You said
Orbital
it
phone.
not orbital.
Yes, it is. Oh my God. Yeah. What school did you go to? What high school was it you went to with art class?
Art class? I was A+ in art, Wally. St. Pius. St. Pius. No, I went to art classes when I played for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. I did it every Tuesday night. I went over and painted. Just like the guy there with the big afro there, Bob.
Bob. Yeah. Bob.
Here, I'm just gonna put a nice little. I'm gonna put some bushes here and
Bob Ross. Thank you.
Bob Ross. Yeah. I gotta get doing some paintings, man. There's good. You know what? Tony's cornering the market here with these skates here. I gotta get some Yorkie art going.
What would you? Okay, if you could paint anything, what would you paint?
I think first off, I would do a picture entitled "The Wally," kind of like the Kramer when they had that old picture with Kramer. I just do Wally with a salty look in his face, maybe with a nice corduroy jacket on, just steam coming out of the ears. We could title it "The Wally."
Can I have a mascot?
I could do that for you. Yeah, I could do that for you.
I want to feel like regal.
Yeah, a little regal. Okay, let me see what I can do.
Tap That Sugar Shack wants Wally naked. So
I don't want that. I have to put some shades on, put some sunglasses on. You're so white.
Quickly, as we wait for Thomas, the salary cap was announced. It is going up.
Oh yeah,
to 95.5 million. Which, if the math is correct on Puckpedia, is there's $16 million in cap space for the Sens for next season. So,
wow. And aren't the guys getting money back? They already said there's you're getting, because sometimes you have to pay escrow, but I believe this year they're actually getting money back.
Yes,
I believe I heard that. Don't know what the exact number is, but that's the NHL's rocking and rolling right now. It's bringing in the bucks.
It still trails in the markets.
Oh yeah, like come on, football is. But
yeah, like a $95 million, but it's tough on the small market team, especially in Canada. We'll see what the budget becomes.
It's unfortunate because they screwed it up a long time ago by putting so many games in. The reason football is makes so much money on TV is because you want it. You got to wait all week for it usually. Well, now they're doing Thursdays and
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It feels like
I
know what you're saying.
But still, it's only 18 games.
Well, there's only one game on Thursday, right, or two, or what? Like,
but it's like that packed restaurant everybody wants to get into because it's tough to get into. It's the same thing. But when you've got 4 games a week, it's like shit. This is a big commitment. But could you imagine if there was only 1 game a week and you just built it up all week and people would want it, they would love it, and you could. It's just
money, Yorkie.
If you started it over and did it again, your TV rights would be so much higher because it would just be that much more attractive because it's less is more. I'm telling you. Never going to happen. It's pie in the sky.
So yesterday we had a sit down with Michael Andlauer. Oh, hang on a sec. We will get to that later.
Okay.
We do have the guy who's now 28 years old, just scoring game winners left and right, who's all alone in front of the net, which I want to get to. Shabby, welcome to the show, my friend.
Dude, thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. Shabby, Wally told me that you actually went to him when he was doing his little peeping thing through the glass window, his little peeping Wally, and you said, "Hey, you want me to come on or what? Like you're the guy that orchestrated this?"
Yeah, I see him every day in the corners of the rink trying to hide himself around practice, and the one day I just popped over, and we've been trying to reach out to each other and find the time, and obviously different time schedule doesn't fit, but you know what? I'm just glad we made it work today. We're here.
Hey, are guys a little creeped out about this old guy in the corner with the camera all the time? Like,
I wouldn't say creeped out, but it's just always funny to see him trying to catch the best angle. I mean, you gotta respect that. He goes in the hole just to make sure the glass is not in the way, and it's just the best angle you can get. So it's pretty impressive. You got to give him credit for that.
yeah,
Hey, it's good stuff.
yeah, Wally Vision. We call it Wally Vision, Shabby. We
Yeah.
trademarked it. Wally
It's
Vision.
a good one. It's a good one. Well done, Wally.
Well, actually, Wally Vision started during COVID when I would record, and there's a point to this. I would record you guys practicing on the road. TSN camera would shoot it. I would record it off my computer monitor. One of the times I caught this particular video of you and Tim Stutzla, which is what started Wally Vision for the most part. And I don't know if you've seen this very often. Jake, do we have the video hand? There we go. Practice in Edmonton.
Just cuddling each other. Eh?
Just giving Timmy
right,
a little
buddy.
hug.
That's love right there, isn't it?
February 3rd, 2021.
Wow. Look at that. Little bonding moment.
Just talking gear, talking everything. Just the boys talking shop, as we call it.
Talking some shop. I
So-
love it.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of Wally Vision. Are you and Timmy, because I see you guys talk, are you guys close because you've been around each other for so long?
Yeah, we are, man. Like we spend a lot of time together. Obviously, at home we all have our own kind of things going on, but on the road we do spend a lot of time together. Even with Drake, it's I don't know. It always seems like whatever we want to do, go for a walk, go for shopping, go for coffee. It always seems like we're always kind of thinking the same thing and wanting to do the same thing. So we always kind of end up gathering around each other. But I mean, at the end of the day, and I've said that multiple times, we're lucky enough in Ottawa to have a group where everybody can really hang around each other and everybody hangs out together. And like I said, obviously some guys have a lot of kids, some guys you're not going to see them really at home, but on the road is where we get together. And you know what, we have fun. We have a fun group. We have a lot of younger guys, but a lot of the older guys that are still trying to act like they're 25, 26 years old. So it's fun. We have a blast. We have a great group. It's fun going on the road and just being there 24/7 all together, going for dinners and whatnot. So no, we definitely do hang a lot together.
So, Thomas, how much fun are you having right now? Like when I watch you right now, you just look like I was trying to explain to Wally, when you're playing and you're relaxed, but you're still playing hard and you're not thinking, you're just playing. Like you just seem to have found your sweet spot out there and you're playing with confidence. I've never seen you play better.
No, honestly, it's been fun. I think with Jens coming in this summer, I think the last 5-6 years was something I really was kind of mostly asking for, is finding a partner that we can build something and find chemistry together, and just every night going out with the same guy and playing together. Obviously injuries are what it is, but just find the groove where you're going to spend a lot of time and feed off each other and really get to know your partner. So that's been great this year with Jansen. He's an amazing player. He's been fun to hang around with off the ice and on the ice. But you know what? I've said it the last couple of days, but it's definitely by far the most fun I've had in Ottawa. I mean, we've went through some years where a lot of guys are having a lot of success, but I mean, we're not winning games. And at the end of the day, you're in this business to win hockey games. Yes, it's fun that you're in the NHL and your dream was to play here and do those things. But comes a time in your career, I find that you want to turn the page and you want to be a team that competes in the playoffs every year and have a big chance to lift a big trophy at the end of the year. And I think everybody's been doing that this year. Everybody's kind of pushed themselves kind of to the side, but at the same time pushing in a different direction that just leads us to win more games night in, night out.
Have you given yourself a chance to think about what it would be like to play in the playoffs, since you have, like, this is probably the first time? There was a couple years ago you guys were like within 6 points of a playoff spot, but nobody really felt you were going to make the playoffs. this year, people, and I'm assuming you guys believe you're going to be in a playoff spot. Have you given yourself, as the guy that's never played a postseason game, the time to think about what that might be?
I mean, you do. I'm not gonna lie, you do think a lot about it, but at the same time, I think I try and keep myself together a little bit because there's a lot of hockey games left, and you guys see it. I mean, every night you win one game and you go to third spot and you lose one, and then you end up being out of the wild card and whatnot. So everything's tight, everything is great, but I mean that's what we want. You work all summer, you worked all those years to be in a position like that. That every night the 2 points matters and nothing else around it does. Whether you score or you don't, you just want to win the game, and that's been the best part of this year. I think it's every night. It's an exciting game. It's almost feels like a playoff game every night. But I think the most exciting is just thinking of being in Ottawa, playing in front of our fans, in front of a packed barn in the playoffs. Obviously, it's hard not to think about it, but you kind of want to just stay locked in that moment on enjoying the challenge and the grind right now and trying to get the best out of it.
Shabby, I thought last night was, it was one of those measuring stick games, and man, I'm impressed with Washington. How big are their forwards, by the way? They got a big
It's crazy. They're so big up front, and even like they got big guys, but like skill guys too. Like those guys can make plays, but they're big and heavy. Yeah.
So like I thought you guys were in control of the game. I know it was close. You got up to, Travis calls the timeout, but you talk about staying in the moment. I just found you guys never seemed to panic in that game. Even though it got tied up, you didn't panic and you stuck with the game plan. And to me, that was it was almost like an announcement to, hey, we're a different team now.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, we know we're good. We know we can compete against anybody. So I think the learning this year was just on finding times where games are not going your way, or I don't know, you're not finding your game. Is finding ways to just stay there and just focus on that game. And then last night was the same thing. I think we kept taking the lead and we get up 4-2. And like Greener said a little bit, I think we got a little bit loose thinking, okay, we got this game in the back pocket. But I mean, you're playing a team that's elite this year, Washington. You give them a little bit of groove, they'll find it. They'll score a couple goals. But like you said, I mean, Greener calls the timeout. But I think all of us in our head, we all knew it is what it is. You're playing a good team. They're going to score some goals. That's the game of hockey. And we stuck with it. I mean, we found a way to win it in OT, which is big. But I think like you said, I think it was just a big game playing the best team in the league. The last time they came in our building, we lost 1-0 in OT. We didn't give them a whole lot. And last night, just to find a way to win against those teams, I think it just shows to ourselves and the entire group and the entire league that we'll battle and we'll beat any team in this league.
Can you quickly just give us the exact verbatim that Travis Green said during the timeout?
To be
I'm
honest,
just kidding.
to be honest, he didn't say much. I think he just said to just go back to what we did all game. It's simple as that. I think we got a little bit, and I think he's right. At the time, you're kind of thinking about it, but when looking back on it, he's probably right. I mean, we were a bit more loose. We gave him some time, some space, and I don't know. You look at the Ovechkin goal. We kind of let him skate in, and the guy has 1,000 goals in this league, so he's probably not going to miss much. There's just little details like that. We're all aware of it, but I don't think any of us panic, and it's just about going right back on the ice and doing it all over again.
What were you,
hold on, Yorkie? I'm going to forget. So we have a Thomas Chabot bobblehead to give away, and so the question's going to be at email cihsens@gmail.com. How many game-winning goals did Thomas Chabot have in his career? Thomas, don't answer the question.
I don't even know.
He probably doesn't know.
Do you know how many overtime winners you have in your career?
I think just 2, right? Nashville and last night.
Nashville, December 17th, 2018.
Yeah.
You scored. Yeah.
So got asked about goals. I don't know. You were pretty relaxed on that shot last night when you got that puck. Like you picked,
man,
what were you thinking there?
I had that breakaway early in the first, and I was thinking of doing the exact same move, and then I mean, it happened so quick, but in my head,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing the exact same move. And then I'm like, okay, no, he's going to know I'm doing that. And then I just shot it low glove. And then I was just fired up that it went in.
Yeah. No, the after two, you skate over by the glass. You probably don't remember, but you give the nice point to the stands thereafter. So you were fired
Yeah.
up there. But how, like, that was a great play by Pinto to get that puck over. Were you surprised how open you were?
Honestly, I watched a replay at first when that battle happened. I
This
kind
is
of
so
came back
funny.
into I came all the way back into neutral zone because I'm like, okay, here we go. We're gonna have like a 2-3-on-1 here.
Yeah.
And when I saw like Norris still kind of had the puck, and then I saw Pins got there on his forehand, I'm like, well, you know what? I might as well just try to sneak in the slot and go take advantage of it. And yeah, like you said, I think all credit, honestly, I'm happy I scored the goal, but the whole credit was Norris and Pinch just battling against two guys, and Pinch really just had to put it anywhere in the slot. I mean, I was completely by myself, so he ended up just giving it right to me, and I mean, the rest was just found a way to put it in the back of the net. We won that game, so.
Yeah, beautiful.
Was there any moment where you went, I can't believe there's nobody around me?
Well, I was because the biggest thing 3-on-3 is men on men, and you just follow your guy anywhere, and you can, worst case, you'll let him skate around for 5 minutes and not give him a shot or anything, right? And then when I saw that third guy go in, because I think he saw me go in the neutral zone, so he was kind of thinking to go get the puck and come our way. And then when I saw like he got caught up in the battle, then I'm like, okay, perfect. This is my time to just sneak myself in there, and then pins me to a sick pass. So
Shabby,
good.
everybody's talked about Travis Green, and there's been a lot of talk about Alfie. No one's really said a lot about Nolan Baumgartner, though. And I don't know about you, but I always liked it when I had a D coach that was a former D, because he kind of understands the day to day, what we go through, how the importance of having a partner that you play with all the time. Like I agree with you, man. That's really, really important. But maybe just like, what's Nolan Baumgartner added? Because as a group, you guys are playing much better.
No, it's Bomber's been amazing, honestly. For he's there every day. He's always door open. Just the day before the Washington game, just grabbed me and we just had a good 15-minute, 10-minute chat about just honestly just life, and that's what's great. I think you're building that with your decor of just that trust and that feeling that, hey, we can talk about anything. Doesn't have to be about one bad game or one great game. I think there's just it's finding that fine line. And what I love the most is he's calm behind the bench. You'll go out there, you'll make a mistake. Hey, you know what? Just a tap in the back. Let's move on. I mean, the game of hockey, it's just so fast. Everybody's so skilled out there. It's so easy to be out of place by a foot, and it's in the back of your net. Like when you look at our team, you look at a guy like Clev that's been doing an amazing job all season. And when you're young, you'll tend to make one mistake, come back to the bench, be frustrated. I mean, there's no time, and I think Bomber's been amazing at that, at coming in. It's like, hey, Clev, you know what? You're playing 15, 20 minutes when guys are hurt, 25 minutes for us, and you're doing amazing. It's just turn on the page. And I think he's been great with that. And like you said, the finding him playing the game, him knowing how we feel every day. Some days um, some weeks you go through 5, 6 games and you're like, what the hell's going on? I feel like I can't do anything. Or 5, 6 games you're playing amazing, but it's just find that guideline of never being. I know it's cliche, but it's the never being too high or never being too low, and
Exactly.
that's what's been good all year, honestly.
Can I talk about your broken face? Because
Yeah, yeah,
last night, if I was the first game that you removed the fishbowl, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
yeah. First
Yeah.
game.
Okay. So let's go back to this. The Island. Yeah, it's the Islander game.
Yeah, Islanders.
Can you take me through this? Because I've gotten like hit in the mouth before and it's hurt. I can't imagine taking a clapper to the face.
Oh no, it was. I don't wish it for my worst enemy. Honestly, it's. I think when we were chatting in the room the other day, like I told you, it was just. I think you're just more scared than anything else because obviously you get hit in the face, you black out, and then I stand right back up and I put my hand up, and it's just blood squirting everywhere.
Mm.
Let alone walk down the tunnel, you look down and your jersey's just covered of blood. I'm like, at that point, you have no idea what you look like. You have no idea if you lost. Like I was telling you, Wally, I didn't want to put like my tongue up because I was like, oh my God, I might have lost like 20 teeth. I didn't want to
Oh,
know. You know what I mean? Like you're just
yeah.
like, you don't want to know. So luckily enough, honestly, it was it's a bad luck, but I mean, broke my nose, the cartilage here, broke my bone all the way down here towards my teeth. So you know what? It was just a quick fix of putting the stick up my nose and put it back in place. And um, but no, the worst part, like I was saying to you, it was it's been the eating. It's my teeth are really really sore, so shed a couple pounds and
Not
been
just a
harder.
couple.
Yeah, I lost 12 pounds over that
Wow.
stretch. So, um, well, because we were also in a stretch of 12 games in 19 days. So you're trying to eat a lot of calories, a lot of smoothies, a lot of. My wife actually, the MVP behind the scenes, just making me some thick, like solid nutritional soups to, and I'm just slowly, barely eating it. But um, no, I lost 12 pounds, and I was telling Wally, it was almost like the back-to-back games feel so tired. I was like, what the hell's
Yeah.
going on? And then I got home brushing my teeth and I stepped on the scale and I shed 12 pounds. I'm like, okay, there
Wow.
we go. That kind of makes sense. That's where the energy went. But you know what, at the end of the day, it's been good. It's been good. It's coming back now. um and it could have been a lot worse. I could have lost all the teeth or something, so I'll take that.
Okay.
That's a bad feeling, eh? And I've been there, Chevy, when you put your, like, I used to wear a mouth guard and you take it out
Yeah,
and we were waiting for all the teeth to be sitting in the
exactly.
mouth guard.
Yeah. Yeah, you take it
Oh,
out. That's why I was scared, because my mouth guard all the way to the stitches room and everything, my
yeah,
mouth guard was still in there because I was like, I don't want to take it out and see, like, make it even worse. You'll see like five teeth in
exactly.
there or
Oh,
something.
yeah, exactly. How's the nose now? Is it feeling okay?
Yeah, it's still sore. Like if you bang on
Yeah,
it, it'd be really
yeah,
sore. But
yeah.
no, I had to fight my way through playing with a visor again
It's so
because I
tough, eh, with
wasn't
the fishbowl.
technically allowed to do so, but I couldn't stand the bubble. You
I
can't
uh
see, you feel I felt like I couldn't see anything on the ice, so I had to get rid of it.
I was telling Wally I had to wear the bubble twice in one season. I broke my whole side of my face.
What bone was that?
I Well, we had a contest here, Shabby. Neither one
Yeah.
of us can say the word. Say it, Wally.
Orbital.
Or,
Orbital bone. See, not bad for a
see,
French
he
guy.
says it better than us.
Eh?
But anyhow, I,
Uh,
I was the same, man. You can't anything down in your feet. And I was watching you your first game, and you were taking a little extra time because there's that little dead spot, right? That you can't
Yeah,
see the puck down low.
yeah, it's crazy. That's what I felt. I felt like I was like slow, so slow, like stick handling, moving the puck, just because every time it come towards where you move the puck, technically,
Yeah,
I'd lose sight of it.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
was like, I played a couple games like because my nose was freshly broken, and then as soon as I was like, okay, this is starting to feel pretty good, I'm like, I got to get rid of this thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's because you get it's like okay. Yeah, I might get hurt again, but you could get hit because you're taking that extra time and you expose yourself. I totally know how you feel, man. It's the worst
Yeah.
playing with that
Well,
bubble.
I actually got hit first game back. Well, I missed the game against Washington, then played Boston, and I won a puck battle just behind our net, and Lindholm just buried me behind the net.
Hmm.
And it was only because of that, because I saw him coming. And when I went to look back down for the puck, I couldn't find it. And then he hit
Gotcha.
me
Yeah.
right, actually hit me right in the face again. And I was like, oh, here we go again.
Oh,
But
no.
it was fine. I mean,
Yeah.
like you guys know, we got such a good staff behind us. They take care of
Yeah.
us so well, and they'll go above and beyond for you to feel better. And they got me with this nose strap to play because I guess I didn't know it first time I broke my nose, but once you start your heart rate up again, you can't quite breathe with your nose because it'll like swell up.
Yeah.
So they had me with this magnet thing on my nose just so I was able to breathe. Yeah, there we go, the football player. But so no, like the boys, the staff took really good care of me, and luckily enough, I just missed the one game, so it was good to be right back on it.
So does that magnetic thing work?
It does, really does. It spreads it wide open. It was really nice, actually.
Huh. Last thing I want to talk about with that one is you almost missed games, right? Like I'm shocked that you came back after missing one game.
Well, so at first when it happened, my ears were like off from the impact and all the blood that was left in my sinuses. So um, the next day, like 2 days later, technically speaking, of the injury, in the morning, I woke up in the morning and brushed my teeth, everything, and then I just feel something like starting to leak, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And then I look up in the mirror, and then it just keeps coming, and all the blood, everything comes out in the morning, and it's just, it's almost a murder scene in my sink. It's just covered in blood everywhere. And then I stand up like I look up after, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually feeling good now. Like my ears popped, like everything. So I get back to the rink and I talk to the staff, and obviously they're with reasons. They're always very cautious with those things in case you hurt your head or whatever. Um, but I looked at him and I'm like, guys, honest to God, I feel that normal, really good, really good. So, and then we went for all the whatever testings I had to do and crushed all those, and luckily, right back on it against Boston that next day.
It's amazing. Anyway, I can't imagine walking around and sleeping, let alone playing with that. So good on you.
Thank you.
Is that the worst thing that you've had pain wise?
Yeah, probably on impact. Yeah.
A lot of guys are taking pucks this year to faces. Like
I know.
Josh, Josh took the boards, but Drake, you,
Yeah.
Tim, Brady,
The
Nick
shots are
Jensen gets
coming
high
in
stick
at
every other game.
I was trying
shots
to
are
figure.
coming in at 95 miles per hour, and we protect everything but our face. So
Yeah.
I was
we're
trying
kind
to.
of
I was
begging
trying.
for it.
I was trying to figure it out too, because it just seems nowadays, Shabby, the sticks are so good. Like before, probably early in your career, you could kind of tell where if a shot was going to come hard or not. At
Yeah.
least I could. But now, like, it doesn't take a guy long, and even with a snapper, he can get it up to 85 miles an hour. A little tip. Like, it just seems like more and more guys are getting hit now.
Yeah, it's guys are so good at releasing the puck from anywhere now that you
Yeah.
never know where it's coming. And I mean, mine was kind of a bad luck, right? Pelech was
Yes.
in a tough spot and he flips it towards the net, top of the circle, eating that in the face. Like it's just a bad luck. But um, you've seen some scary ones. I don't know if you remember a couple. What was it? Bunch of years ago, like was it Stamkos that ate a one timer right in
Oh
the face
yeah.
or something? Like
Yeah.
those would be bad because when you're teeing it up, you're trying to score a goal from the blue line and it gets tipped right to your face. That's brutal.
Yeah.
You don't ever think about that, do you? When you're taking it?
No,
Yeah.
no,
I couldn't imagine.
no.
All right, let's change the subject. This is good.
Okay, yeah, I'm moving on. I asked this yesterday, I think, to Claude. It was about, was there a time when you noticed like the shift in how this team played defensively? And I don't know if that stretch in November started to weigh on you guys the way it just seemed to be going. And then people were saying, here we go again. I don't know what you guys felt at that point. If I can tie that into the way you started to play defensively, like did there need to be a shift in mindset to get you to play this way?
I think at the start of the season, it was just like new coach coming in, new systems, new everything, right? So when you're coming in, training camp goes well, start of the season, everybody's fired up to start playing and things are going well. Then you find yourself in that stretch of like, do really everybody is on the same page knowing everything as the like it takes time at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. We have training camp, we have a lot of practices and everything, but once you get out there on the ice, anything happens every shift. Like it's easy to draw things up and whatnot, but
Yeah.
when you get out there, anything can happen. It changes every shift, changes every night, and every night you play against a different team, so it's going to be different. But you know what? We went through those games, and yes, it sucked, and everybody was pissed off and frustrated. But I mean, at the end of the day, we knew what we had, we knew where we wanted to be, and we kind of just stuck to it. And it was just nice to see that we kind of turned it around a little bit.
So I just want to ask you some questions off ice a little bit. First, actually, I looked up your first headshot to this year. I just wanted you to take a look to see what you would tell the young guy on September 17th, 2015, when he took his original headshot. What would you tell him about things in the NHL? Was it 10 years or 9 years later? There we go.
Yeah. Change my haircut. That's what I would have done. The boys still give it to me about my hair, my draft haircut.
High and tight.
Yeah, exactly. That was the style, I guess, back then, right? I wanted to be like Pedro. I wanted to be like Pedro. Remember Pedro's haircut?
Yes. Yeah.
I wanted to do the same thing.
Yeah, he was tight. He had tight on the sides, and he had like a little thing going on top.
Yeah, we call it the shave everything on this side, don't even look at the top. That's what we used to call it.
Would you ever consider doing what Tim Stützle has just done with his new look? Shaving your hair.
I'd be scared the hair wouldn't grow back. I'm starting to lose it a little bit up top, so I can't risk going that low. I got to enjoy my last couple of years here.
You're fine. Next, I want to know, you talked about you and Tim and Drake going out shopping. I looked at your style is very good, very clean. Who's the best dressed guy on the team, or who, by the way, could use pointers?
A lot of guys could use pointers. A lot of the American guys could use it. Oli out a little bit, like it's a lot at times, but I mean, if you have the confidence to pull it off, I mean, all respect to him. Oli's got good style. Timmy's got good style. Timmy goes through waves almost every year. I mean, he's at that age. One year it's like a bunch of different shirts, and then one year it's just beige, black, white, simple. A lot of the guys we like to give a hard time my boy Drake on how he gets dressed. He's probably gonna smile if he sees that, but he does come up in the morning at morning skate with the nicest pair of shoes. He's a shoe guy, so he's got a nasty pair of shoes, but he's got the sweatpants, like a wrinkled t-shirt that it looks like it's been in his walking for the last 4 years. But you know what? We actually got a couple guys. Guys like to get dressed nice. My thing is I always appreciate when guys switch around suits. There's a lot of guys in this league that will just wear the black pants every time and just a different tie or jacket. But the guys will switch it up around. So we got a good thing going.
So Drake, he'll just come in looking like a mess, but the shoes are always perfect.
Oh, the shoes are always money. Yeah. His shoes, he loves shoes. Like he always buys shoes, but he'll just come with like the Lululemon sweatpants and a good old t-shirt from, I don't know, from something he got gifted or whatever. But his shoe game's always nice.
Nice.
There's two types of people in the world, Shabby. There's the people that have their phones without zero notifications on them. They're just clean. There's other people that are sadistic and have like 3,000 unread messages. Which one are you?
I'm right in the middle. No notifications, like on the whatever apps and whatnot. It's text messages that I'll leave kind of unread on the last conversation we had. So then if I need to answer back, let's say tomorrow morning, then it's still on there. But I do tend to forget sometimes. So I think I got a couple up there, but usually I'm pretty good.
All right. I appreciate it. By the way, you need one more assist to tie Chris Phillips for third all time in assists by Ottawa Senator defenseman. 6 points to tie him for third in points. So we hope that Minnesota, we will see one more point from you, perhaps 2 goals and 3 assists. You go.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll try. We'll try, but
I
5
appreciate
points seems a little
Hey,
high.
since November 25th, the last 31 games, which is more than half the season, you guys are the 3rd best team in the National Hockey League winning percentage. So keep it rolling.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Shabby, thank you for your time. I appreciate you doing this for us.
Thanks for having me, boys. That was awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it, guys.
See you in the corner.
Yes, sir.
Thomas Chabot. He's just one of the good guys.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he's, from what I know, and he kind of touched on a little bit, he's the guy that gets the guys together. He's the ringleader that makes sure guys are hanging out, guys are going to dinners together. He's inviting guys over. He's having the parties. And that is a lot more important than people think behind the scenes. I remember all the teams I used to play on in the early days with the Sens. Kind of brought back memories when Thomas was talking about how this team all hangs out together. That's who we used to do. Like, we'd have Halloween parties and Christmas parties, and we'd always be doing something. Philly would get the guitar out, and we'd go over and we'd do songs and stuff like that. Andre Waugh would be doing stupid stuff, but that's what makes a team tight. But you need guys like the Thomas Chabots that make sure that guys are doing stuff, hanging, doing that, because that's what makes the group tight.
They are. You can see it. You can just feel it around the room. Even yesterday, there's a video of Josh, and they're joking around with him and Pinto during an interview. Like, it just, and then all of a sudden it becomes Tim's involved. Like, they're in the room, they're hanging out, they're not scared to be interviewed anymore, which used to be like the last 7 years. There would be no one in the room. They would be told, get out of the room, and then we just bring one single guy back to talk. Anyway, a lot more different atmosphere. It's just fun to be around.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Hey, Thomas was great.
Quickly, I know you got to get out of here. Jeremy Rivet. I may say that wrong, but I will email you. You are the proud winner of the Thomas Chabot bobblehead, by the way, who 5 game-winning goals in his career. So, Yorkie, we're back Monday.
Looking forward to it. Yeah,
you have a safe travels this weekend to see your boy, and we will get the show rocking Monday. And by everybody, thank you for all that you guys have done for us the last couple of days and your support. We will leave you now with the moment of silence that was for Sean Simpson yesterday at the Canadian Tire Center. Thank you guys for tuning in this week.
Thanks, everybody.
The Ottawa Senators also extend our condolences to the family, friends, and many fans of Sean Simpson, the Washington Capitals 1986 third-round draft pick, former front office executive, and TSN 1200 radio broadcaster. Simmer was a passionate mental health advocate. We now ask that you join us in a moment of silence in their memory.